Hello there. Will obviously slightly more subdued today, or my voice sounds a bit funny. It's because I've had a tooth pulled today. Heard down there. I feel like I've got a whole size of Albania in my mouth, and all I can taste is blood. Bloody hate getting teeth pulled out. This one, because of where it was at, and I actually had an abscess under it. The way he approached it was about 12 different injections round the tooth. But the ones that really were painful was when it had a filling in that had dropped out and the tooth had cracked in half, and Mr. Robson, the dentist, stuck a needle right down the centre of the tooth into the abscess and had to inject below it, to the side, and then used a hook needle to hook inside and round on the inside of your tooth and into your gums. Oh, it was painful. No doubt you're cringing just listening to it, but spare a thought for me, because that was fucking painful. So I'm not supposed to be smoking. I was told to lay off today. He says, but I know you're not going to take any notice, so at least we were on the same wavelength there. I wasn't supposed to be drinking any liquids today, but you've got as much chance of that as flying to the moon. Me doing without caffeine and cups of tea. Alright, so I have tamed it down a bit though. So what else has been new in the world of Wayne? I've just literally about 3/4 of an hour ago finished doing 2 hours of videos on organic texturing and sculpting for the Ground Up series for Wave 2. It's not the whole of Wave 2, it's just part of it. Which brings up, I think, is it now 4 or 5 hours worth of footage that I've done already. A lot of it isn't out yet, and I'll tell you why. It's been massively successful, much more successful than anybody thought. Now, all the quick start ones, which are only small videos, only 5-10 minutes here and there, included as Flash SWF files, they've used up on their own just under 1/4 of a terabyte of bandwidth. Bear in mind, Mudbox wasn't released till the 6th, and I didn't start doing the videos till about the 8th or the 10th. So there you go. That's in what, 10-11 days, which is scary because my site's starting to grown under the strain. So I've had to have a little word with Autodesk and say, look, you're going to have to host these before because it's getting to the point where I can't even get my mail sometimes. So if you send me an email, I might not get it, okay, until this is sorted over the next few days. One video in particular is more successful than the other ones, and that's the one on image-based lighting, and that's got 25,000 hits so far. These are all about 10, 13, 15,000 hits, and there's 10 videos so far. I've just uploaded a preview tonight for Wave 2. It's what we create a sort of World of Warcraft Blizzard styley orc head sort of thing, you know. It uses 4 2K maps, diffuse, specular, gloss and bump, and I've kept the polygon count down to 2.9 million so that everybody can join in with this, because it's aimed towards people who either have problems with digital sculpting organic characters or texturing them, or people who just want to know how to do it in Mudbox. It's all free, 1280 res as usual, high quality sound, DVD quality stuff basically, and I'm actually pretty chuffed with that one, because it was one of those where I wasn't actually going to do it, because I'd uploaded the one on, you know, arbitrary mesh baking between different topologies and stuff, and I had this retopologized head. I thought, well, it wasn't good enough to wall you into that character, so I just had a bit of a play around, and I thought, well, I might as well video it, and it turned out pretty decent, if I do say so myself, because it's under 2 hours, and that's from start to begin, from beginning to end, you know, and there's no bits in the middle. It's all at its original speed. It's not speeded up. Because it's aimed at beginners, it means that if I get this one out of the way, some of the beginner stuff, then we can get more complex stuff. And I know some of the advanced guys want to use. I know that some of the big companies like Sony have found these videos very, very useful in making buying decisions and stuff. So I've done pretty well, I think. You know, I thought I was going to get shit on a stick for this from certain areas of the 3D community, because let's face it, it wasn't the wisest decision. Not that it was a decision, by the way, to have the ZBrush book come out on the 6th. Mudbox also came out on the 6th, and me start doing these videos from about the 8th or the 10th, somewhere around there. So I thought, well, the ZBrush community is probably going to get pretty pissed off here, and I'll probably get a load of hate emails as well. I haven't had one. I know this is a template video. I haven't had one. So far, I've only had one person behave like a complete tit, and I think out of well, it's hundreds of thousands of downloads of all the videos in total, but we'll say a quarter of a terabyte of bandwidth. It's about 200 and something gig. One guy behaving like an idiot is not too bad, really, is it? I'm surprised. I really am. Maybe I'm starting to be a little bit more accepted. I don't know. I'll have a quick look at the time. A little bit ages. But yeah, so I've still got loads of them to do that yet, you know. I'm not anywhere near finished. See, at the moment, I think a lot of the other companies have either thought they don't want to cover Mudbox yet, or they've realised that with this series coming out, they're pissing against the wind. They're not going to cover the costs, or barely, and they might just think it's not worth it. All I want to do is give something back. I've always said that when I'll finally one day leave this planet, for whatever's on the other side, if there is anything, I want to leave something behind. I've made a difference. Now, in some small way, this makes a difference, because if you want to learn all the features of Mudbox 2009, you're going to have to watch these videos, basically. So come 10 years or so, assuming Mudbox is still around, a lot of these guys who will be at the very top of the industry by then will have learned from my videos, which is, to me, that's giving something back. I'm not asking for anything. I'm not getting paid. Don't want to be paid. That's not why I'm doing it. I know I've heard some people say, well, you must be getting some of that. No, I'm not. The only thing I'm getting out of this is the reward of knowing that it's making a difference. Because there's a lot of uninformed comments going on at the moment about Mudbox and how it doesn't run on anything but a Quadro, which is absolute crap. I'm using a 9800 GT Nvidia card. It's got 1 gig of RAM, but I know there's guys out there that were on beta that were using 9600s and 8800 ones or 8080 ones, you know. Basically anything after 8 series Nvidia is good. Won't bother with 80i ones because a lot of them don't support what's needed. If you've got a Quadro, it's going to have to be ending 600 or above. But see, the logic behind it is, if you're going to be developing for next gen games, then you really need a system that's going to run next gen games. If it doesn't, then you're pissing against the wind, because you can't test what you're making half the time to make sure that it's right. Just because you can view it in, say, the X normal viewer, or view it in real time with DX shaders in 3D Max, does not mean it's going to look right in, say, the Unreal Engine or Doom Engine and stuff like that. It's not going to look, you're not guaranteed to look right. So if you want to take it seriously, you've got to be prepared to upgrade. I budget to upgrade every 12 months, and the PC that's left over goes to cat, and anything that's left, and whichever she's left with is normally obsolete by then. It stands in the corner for a year and then gets chucked to the nearest tip, or just give it to somebody, But yeah, so I know it's when you haven't got much money, I know it's a bit of a bummer, but that's the reality, I'm afraid. Mudbox is it's a professional tool, wrote by guys who the top dudes are wetter than other shit. It's not just wrote by some programmer dude, It's not meant to run on a calculator on an old machine, because if you want to be on the cutting edge, you've got to make it future proof. It's no good pandering to whatever the lowest common denominator is, I'm afraid. You've got to aim for the sky. See, people forget, when ZBrush 2 came out, everybody was whinging that, to get the poly counts that the top guys had, they had to upgrade the PCs. So everybody upgraded the PCs, I think there was to 1 gig of RAM. Then Mudbox came out, everybody upgraded to 2 gig of RAM, right? Version 1. Then ZBrush came out, and a lot of guys had already, because they've been waiting that long, upgraded to 4 gig of RAM, right? And beyond. So now when Mudbox is out, it's no different than any other release, right? You're going to have to upgrade, because you always do. That's the way software works. See what time we've got. Right, I'll move on to part 2. Right, see you in part 2. Got something very interesting to say.